Oh my God, it's the last class. Good morning, 0508. It is June 20th, and what a ride. This is intense, but I have to give it to every one of you. You guys have really done so amazingly well, just staying on top of this. The level of posting is like, I'm serious, like none other. So it's been really, really great. And I think what we're kind of learning is as we go through each individual subject that's basically separated by anatomical / physiological system, that realistically it's all completely interrelated, and one problem with one area impacts another, and it's this domino-like effect in terms of our overall health. So, great discussion by Phil and Lena. Sparked really controversy over kind of abusive drug use, prescription drug use being used for our elders. And what I really liked about the discussion was it kind of brought out this kind of self-awareness and what is our role as trained gerontologists? What are we supposed to do when we're happening upon something that we know is not right? And that's my famous adage, whether it's your health or somebody else's health. If it doesn't feel right, then that means it's not right. And so then, what do we do with this knowledge that we all have from the training that we received in gerontology? And I think everybody came forth with a really powerful statement and remarks. Okay. So it's really difficult to be the last discussion, the anchor, and so I applaud Angelica and Devin for having names that are at the end of the alphabet. So therefore, you get to be the anchor on our trip here. And we saved a really great topic for the last, and that's tooth health and really kind of oral physiology and how it's impacted by aging. And like I said earlier, we can see that all our physiological systems are interconnected. And you can see this, just one example that Angelica and Devin show in two different slides, is that potentially you can suffer bone loss in your jaw. Okay, we're going to suffer bone loss as we get older, period. Okay, that's a natural course of aging. The question is, do we find ourselves going down that path of the disease state, osteoporosis? And when you have osteoporosis, it's not just any one bone, it's uniform. And so what happens is, as the jawbone gets thinner and weaker, then the maintenance of the root system of your teeth also becomes weaker, and you run the risk of tooth loss. One thing that they also talk about are of course, different factors that contribute to it, again, interrelated. So let's just talk about immune system. Right? So we all know our immune system it slowly declines in function as we get older. It's in some ways it's very related to the cell biology theory on aging, and just that our rate of cell division goes down, and our immune system relies on rapid cell division to mount a defense against infections. And so you have less immune fighting in your mouth, and as a result the bacteria can take over, and then you get into the scenario that they described of getting dental caries, plaque, and then that leads ultimately to periodontal disease that can cause tooth loss. What are the other contributing factors to this? Okay, well, we've talked a lot about disease functions. I think the most important one, since it is so pervasive especially in the United States, is diabetes. And diabetes causes even further compromised decline in terms of our immune system. They also bring in the concept, and the only thing that supposedly gets better with aging is wisdom. Yahoo! Okay. But what's the alternative? So we're all going to fight the good fight. And one thing they talked about, of course, is salivary changes. Okay. And I've talked a lot about my wife Julia with her cancer preceding the lymphoma and leukemia. She was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and this is a female disease. These are female diseases, these autoimmune diseases, and the one that she had is the one that that affected Venus Williams, and it's called Sjogren's syndrome, and it attacked the glands that are responsible for saliva secretion in her mouth, and so she suffers from dry mouth, dry eye, and it also attacks the joints. So there's all these different types of areas that the immune system goes wrong. The overall prevalence is 9-to-1 female to male, and it has a lot to do, these autoimmune diseases, with the fact that the female is a lot different than the male, and the female immune system has to be different in order to grow this new child inside the womb that is of completely different genetics than the mother, okay, or at least half different. So if you look, you can go over and over. Well, I think a couple of you indicated you had Hashimoto's. That's the thyroid being attacked by the immune system. Again, about 9-to-1 female to male. Okay. They summed it up then with the socioeconomic impact. And, you know, we live in a society of cumulative advantages and also cumulative disadvantages. We can see this in terms of education, because Julie and I are well educated, we've done well, we were able to put our children into preschool, good schools, and then homeschool them when they get home, and on. And of course then Matthew gets into USC, okay? Whereas people that don't have that type of long-term support, it's a much tougher battle, and this also is true of your dental care. I've had dental insurance my entire life, okay? Had it through my dad when I was going to college, and then I went to grad school and I had dental insurance. Post-doc I had dental insurance, became a professor, so I've never had any gap in terms of dental insurance, okay? This is not the case for a lot of people. In fact, if push comes to shove, people will oftentimes let their dental insurance lapse, okay, as happened recently with the recession, and then we see this trickle-down effect over to health. And they mentioned, for example, one thing, heart disease, okay, so it's thought to cause this inflammatory response. These toxins attack the blood vessels, attack the valves, and then in rushes the immune system, makes everything even worse. So, alrighty. So, yeah, so this has been just wonderful, and they piggybacked also on the polypharmacy that Phil and Lena talked about. Oftentimes you'll take drugs that affect your autonomic nervous system, because that will control the hypertension that you might have, but it also affects then things like salivary secretion, enzyme secretion, and can result in dental caries. So it's all interrelated. Okay, so this is where I'm going to sum things up. Great class, guys. I love you. Wonderful semester, short semester. I'm going to end with Maple again. Come here, Maple. Come on, girl. All right. Okay. Now, Maple doesn't like to be picked up sometimes, but we're going to get her in here. There she is. Get your ears right. Okay. Let's hear it for the gray face. Okay. Alrighty, guys. You have a great rest of the summer, and Maple says bye-bye. You guys have a good summer too, and we'll hopefully see you someday at USC. Bye.